We're live.
We live? We good? Welcome to the 7th edition of Tuesday TV, playoff edition. I'm your host, Coach Al. It's Chris Lahr, Leo Mota, and Buddy. This is Martinez?
That's right.
Buddy Martinez. We're going to start off with the first 12 o'clock game. Seahawks versus the Cardinals.
Yeah, so we have an exciting win for the Cards this past week in overtime to make it into the playoffs. To finish the season, the Seahawks ended having the best offense.
I'm sorry, Chris, can you speak up? I know you're hurting and all, but can you speak up?
I'm fine.
Okay,
I'm fine.
okay.
They good. I'm proud of the Panthers.
Speak up
They didn't lose the only game. They got forfeited to them, which was great. But I told them, I was like, guys, just don't lose this one game they gave to us. And they didn't. They won 52-6. Anyway. But anyway, Seahawks ended the season with 5th on defense. The Cards are 9th on offense, 7th on defense. I don't know. I mean, the Cards, I liked what they brought to the table. But, again, they played the Panthers, who only won one game, kind of. And so I'm not sure they have what it takes to beat the Seahawks' firepower. There always seems to be an upset. I'm just not sure this is it. When I look at the history of these teams, guys, can you keep me quiet on set? When I look at the history of these two teams playing, they played in 2016, 15, and 14 every single time the Seahawks have won. The Cardinals have never beat the Seahawks as far as history goes back between the two teams, and I don't see it starting this week. I think the Seahawks will win this one pretty easily, 32-13.
Yeah. Congratulations to Mikey for breaking the record. He would have broke Hector's record of 133, if he would have been able to keep his composure all season long and not had to sit an entire game. As far as the Cardinals,
Shouldn't have hit Jordan.
They're going into this game with momentum. Bo is confident, and he's playing like he wants to win. The sad part is that they don't have enough talent to get the job done. So the Seahawks are going to come out and win this game 35-20. They just have too much firepower.
Yeah, I mean, but one thing you guys is Mikey a big-time quarterback?
What you mean?
I mean, to win playoff games, you got to be a big-time player. I mean, I know the matchup favors him heavily, but he has been unable to do it in his whole career. Never won a playoff game.
Never won a playoff. Wow.
He's never won a playoff game.
This year he's doing
This would be the epic choke if they lose this game.
But
epic.
He's doing things he's never done.
He's beating teams he's supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Right.
Prior years he wasn't doing it.
So I guess when he played the Colts, he had the lead, and I guess you blame it on the defense.
That was a high-scoring game. Yeah, they both gave up over 30 points. So, I mean, both quarterbacks played a heck of a game, and it came down to which team had the better defense, and the Colts had the better defense, so they held their end. But as far as Mikey, overcoming obstacles that people saying he can't, he beat the boys for the first time in his career. He also sat there.
These are the young boys, though.
Yeah,
not the boys of old.
Yeah, but he did something. He's checking off his checklist little by little, and I think for the first time in history, the Seahawks are going to get the job done and get a playoff game, and it's not because of their coach, I tell you that, but yeah.
Well, I guess real quick going into, they made a change at the defensive spot. They have Ant now coaching the defense.
Yeah.
I believe they had the most turnovers they've ever had this past week in these two games. I mean, Ortiz is finally giving away some power over there, kind of trusting in the staff.
Put in his 2 weeks.
Oh, did he? Is that what it is?
He said, listen, I'm out. I can't continue to do this.
Right.
I'll go to Leo office every week, every day. I learn something new. I'm trying to share with the defense. You won't let me. I'm out. And then Ruben knows his last defensive coordinator, I mean, I don't know where he's been at.
What?
But, he needed a new defensive coordinator.
Free ride.
And, he knew that his staff was getting a little bit shorter, as the time was coming. And we all know Ortiz isn't the most brilliant coach out there. So, that was definitely a smart move by him promoting him to defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and I guess when it comes to the Seahawks, what their downfall has been, they've always been able to score points. Yeah. It's just defensively, they're just always giving up the most points.
Because of that stupid defense that Ortiz been running.
Right.
But, he finally listened. He gave Ant a chance. And implemented a new defense, and they got the most turnover they have all season long, as you were saying.
Yeah, so I thought they did very well. I mean, I would say, I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but even with record and all, if Mikey does not win this game, he does not deserve to be maybe not even considered into the Hall of Fame. This would be the epic chokes of all time. I guess maybe one of the best regular season quarterbacks, but in the playoffs would be one of the worst.
Tony Romo?
Yeah. I mean, this guy dropping.
He might be the Tony Romo of this league. Now that I come to think about it.
I mean, one thing though is for sure is that when you count the team out, when the team has nothing to lose, if they're able to get some kind of momentum,
Yes.
that usually kind of ignites something in that team, and then things just kind of turnovers happen and stuff like that.
How about the Cards getting Bo back?
Bo was on fire this past week. I think he did. When it came down to it, that Panthers game was a playoff game, and they went down to overtime, and they scored and they answered on defense, getting that interception. So I think the Cardinals. I mean, if you give a team like that hope is very scary. You know, when you give them hope and then they get some kind of momentum going into the game, it could be devastating for the Seahawks.
Anything they can do to win the game?
They have to win the turnover battle by far. They need a couple balls to bounce their way. Sometimes, you can play great defense, the ball bounces and it just lands in another player's hand. They need kind of stuff like that. They need some kind of momentum, and they have to be within the game at halftime. If the Seahawks get an early lead, I think it's a wrap. I don't think they have a chance. They don't have the firepower to come back. But if they can limit the Seahawks offense and just stay within striking distance, then that gets real scary. And now all the pressure goes to Mikey in the Seahawks.
Yeah, we know how that goes. But
you say he's throwing up in playoff games? Is that what you're saying?
No.
But yeah, I guess in this game, I think you mentioned it. Mikey's a different quarterback. We know all the talented players that they have over there, man, and I just think that the Seahawks are going to be too much.
Can we get you a score?
Yeah, I got it. 30.
Yeah.
I got 34-12. You good? 34-12.